Worship with King of Kings at 7:22 on this Friday morning. Hello there. Welcome to the WFRN Morning Show. We are Doug and Cody. Thank you so much for joining with us on this Friday morning.
Yeah, it is going to get above freezing. It's way below freezing right now. It's like 20 degrees. Going to get to the mid-30s. Tomorrow, mid-40s, partly sunny. And, oh, by the way, Saturday. Happy weekend, everybody.
Ooh.
Code, I don't know what's better about Friday. The fact that we're hours away from the weekend beginning, or the fact that we get to hang out with our buddy Trisha Lightfoot from Triple P Parenting of Elkhart County for Triple P with Trisha.
Good morning.
Good morning, Trisha.
Hi. Of course,
Trisha.
it's that. That's the best part.
Trisha
Yes.
gives us little show notes so we know what the topic is. This one's going to come so easy for me. Interrupting. I've got this.
I think we've all
I really got this.
You can teach a master class.
I think we can all take ownership to some level of interrupting because
Yes.
it's too easy.
It's too easy. It can be born of different things. Mine tends to be enthusiasm, but it still comes across as rudeness. So I'm working on it. I'm working on being a more consistent listener.
That's great.
I know the whole focus is for our kids. Well, sometimes we can benefit too.
Well, honestly, some of these skills that we talk about with parents, are skills that we can always improve on with ourselves as parents. And I have no shame in admitting, sometimes these things really challenge me. And I'm like, wow, I didn't realize I interrupted so much. I need to work on that myself.
It's easy to lose track. It really is. So isn't there a famous joke about this, Cody? Like there's some kind of
There's the interrupting cow knock joke.
Yes, there it is.
It's a staple. Standard joke.
Can we role play that for a moment for people who aren't familiar with that?
Sure.
Okay.
I can honestly say I don't know if I'm familiar with it.
What?
Maybe my kids are too old.
This is like page
Too
2.
polite. Too polite.
Page 2 of the American Standard Joke Calendar.
I like that.
No.
Right after chicken crossing the road.
Yep, right up there near the top.
Take it away, guys.
You want to go ahead?
Sure. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow.
No!
Oh boy, there we go. See, I have a one inspired by that. I've never told this before. Here goes.
Okay.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Control freak.
Control freak who?
I messed it up. Let's start over. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Control freak. Now you need to say control freak who?
Oh,
That's the
control.
joke. Yeah.
Wow.
There's the joke.
Some micromanaging going on there.
Sorry. We're talking about interrupting. See, we're role modeling. I'm role modeling that for Trisha.
That's okay. Jokes are great. But you hit on it earlier, Doug. Why do kids interrupt? Why do people interrupt? Again, let's not limit it just to the little kids. It's as a whole.
What is it that's
teenagers
causing that?
interrupt too.
Yeah.
One of the reasons is they get very excited. So whatever they're thinking about, whatever they want to add to the conversation is really important. So they want to interject because they want to be a part of that conversation.
They feel passionate about what's dawning on them.
And sometimes in conversation, if you let the other person go for a long time, the significance of that point is lost because it's no longer relevant.
I would agree. It made sense in that moment, and then 10 seconds later, we'll just pass.
If they go long enough, you might even doze off.
Maybe.
Some
Some
where you are when you
conversations,
wake up.
yes. But yeah, so that's one of the reasons why kids interrupt. And then when they're younger, especially the preschool age, when they interrupt, it's more just they want to show you something. They want to share something with you. Or they have a question because they're just so curious about everything around them because the world is new. There's still a lot of random questions your kids come up and ask.
It's precious how kids, especially young kids, always want to share something. They want you to experience what they find to be really cool. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, they're looking for that validation from us as adults and parents and caregivers. So yeah, it's really important to them for them to be heard.
They need an email list that I can subscribe to. That would help. Share things all the time.
However, the interruptions are inconvenient.
Yes.
So what do we do about being able to take turns and share information when it's appropriate?
First, I would encourage you to set a couple simple rules.
Okay.
No more than 3, because you want to set your kids up for success. So start them off easy and clearly identify times where you don't or can't afford to be interrupted. So if you work from home and you're on a phone call and you've got the little ones there on the day, just lay out some simple ground rules okay, when mommy's on the work phone, I need you to play quietly in the living room, okay?
Working from home with young kids at home, is hard.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But it's doable.
Yeah, okay.
It's doable. And then I encourage you, especially if the kids are younger, practice. Like, turn it into a fun family moment and role play it. Get that muscle memory, like, moving within their body.
Practice not interrupting?
You just, I suppose you could practice being on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you can practice being on the phone. And then if your child needs to tell you something, maybe the rule is if it's important, well, to them, everything could be important. But maybe, they cut their finger on their book page or something like that, and they need a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a code. So maybe the rule is don't interrupt mommy when she's on the phone. But if it's really important, you can come hold my hand to let me know that you need me.
Good idea.
It's a really good idea.
So, you can be really creative with this. Maybe they have this special little mug or a cup that they really like, or a figurine, and they could just come and set it on the desk so they know that they like your attention when you're off the phone.
Or the
sky's the limit when it comes to creativity.
They could do some kind of action, like they could put their chicken wings, flap chicken wings with their arms.
Oh, I like
if
this.
there's a big emergency.
I like this.
Yeah, something fun.
That is fun.
And then just imagine them doing that in public someday.
In the middle of a solemn occasion.
Back to the drawing board on the chicken wings
At
thing.
a funeral.
It would be hilarious. So, get them to practice this. Explain the rules. You're cracking yourself up today, huh? And then state your rules in the positive, like what exactly you're wanting them to do. So you're going to wait or play quietly while mommy's on the phone, instead of saying, don't be loud when mom's on the phone. Because they're forgetting the don't word and they're hearing the actions. They're hearing be loud.
That's a good point. Those little connector words into don't. They go by so quick and we hear the main word. That's a great point.
So,
Make
I
the
really
main
worked on
words
this.
the ones you want them to do.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I really believed in this or not years and years and years ago, but once I started looking at rules and then, I kind of tested it out with the kids that I was around, I'm like, wow, that actually really does work. So telling them exactly what you're wanting them to do sets them up for success because they know what the expectations are.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Love
so,
that.
if you practice this, or even you have a real life experience quickly after talking about the interrupting boundaries and rules, after it's said and done and they've played well and they did what was asked, make sure you hop on that and praise them. Hey, you played really quietly when I was on the phone. That was a good job. Maybe you even have grandma call up on the phone or something like that, and they don't know it's grandma. But
that's good. Yeah, the well-known business author Ken Blanchard famously said, "Catch them doing something right," and he said that to managers and employers with adult coworkers. So how much more with kiddos? Catch them doing something right. I love that.
Then they get excited because they're like, wow, mom and dad see me when I do things well.
Yep.
So it can be really great fun. But if your child didn't remember to not interrupt and they went ahead and they did interrupt, I'd encourage you to have a follow-up consequence or just have that discussion. This is where your discretion and discernment comes in as parents. You're the expert on your kids. So after the phone call, you could say, you know what? You interrupted me when I was on my phone call. We need to make sure that doesn't happen again. So next time you can earn your gummy bear when you don't interrupt, but today you can't get it until you remember not to interrupt. And then give them some positive attention, because you don't want to say, oh, you screwed up and bummer for you, and walk away. You don't want to leave them feeling like a failure.
Right.
Acknowledge the fact they didn't make it. You still love them. They have a chance to earn their reward the second time, the next time it happens. And then just spend a little bit of time with them, just validating them as a little person.
That's so good.
So, yeah.
So good.
Well, cool.
Inspiring. Trisha,
Thanks, Trisha.
Yeah.
You have events coming up, right?
We do. I'm really excited about them. So in Napanee, we've got 2 events coming up on Monday, the 18th. So one of them is geared towards managing fighting and aggression, which is always a very popular topic, especially with the little siblings who are close in age.
Especially with young boys who like any kind of fighting related activity.
Yes.
It's fun.
Absolutely. And then we have reducing family conflict with the teenage years. So this, again, is another really popular topic because teenage years can be very challenging, especially when their emotions get into play. And there's that power struggle between, father and son of who really knows what they're talking about. And so this discussion group really helps in giving parents strategies to reduce that family conflict and to remember to love their teenager for the awkward stage that they're in.
Such good stuff.
I was loved when I was there.
Encouraging resources, and we again at WFRN thank you to Triple P of Elkhart County for equipping families all over our 30-county region with these. You can find out more from anywhere at
triplelkhcounty.org.
triplelkhcounty.org. Now, I only know one more interrupting joke.
Okay.
And Trisha, would you mind narrating what I'm doing? Because it's visual and partly visual, which isn't. Okay, so I've never told this one either. Let me think. Okay. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting spider.
Interrupting spider. Oh, he slapped his hand on his face.
It's supposed to be a spider. It's supposed to be a spider that jumped on my face. And I think kids do it to their mom or dad, whoever they tell it to. But I'm not going to cross that boundary line here in the studio. So.
Oh, they're supposed to put their hand on the other person's face?
Yeah, what you're supposed to do is hopefully more gently than I hit myself.
That's an improvement to the joke.
You gently put a spider.
You do it to them.
Make it spider looking, and you put it gently on their face.
All right. Okay, yeah, that would totally work on me if my kids did that.
Kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
That might work.
There's the interrupting spider jumping on their face. Trisha, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.